Hello everyone, and welcome back to Soccer Unboxing. So, welcome to a figure haul, and it has been quite a long time since I've done one, and, I feel like definitely because of my YouTube upload schedule kind of hurts that a little bit for me doing hauls, as well as obviously personal life and other sort of figure-related things like figure events. Like, I try to get those out as soon as I can, and also single figure reviews because I would like to get the figure out of the box, relatively quickly. So yeah, there's a bunch of figures that I'd like to show, and I wrote them all down just to make sure I remember what figures were in each month. And how I kind of want to do these haul videos, like maybe from now on, it may or may not change, is that I'll probably combine 2 months into one video. So this video is going to encompass my December and January figures, and the next video is going to be my February-March figures. So I appreciate everyone's patience for those who are looking to what figures I've collected in the past couple of months. And yeah, so, it's the plan for right now, and then after those 2 videos are up, I kind of want to do a separate video dedicated to merch that I didn't get in any of like my Ami packages and such. So like packages or merch from independent artists and Bai as well. I bought a lot of stuff off of Bai in the past few months that I'd like to share with all of you. So that's pretty much the plan right now. I don't know when I'll get these things up, but just some sort of videos to look forward to in the future. So without further ado, let us get started with this video. So first we're going to be starting off with December of 2022. Now, this month was pretty expensive because some figures got pushed from November of 2022 into December of 2022, which hurt a lot. And yeah, it was just not fun at all. Thankfully, some figures from December got pushed into January and so on. And what I think I'm going to be doing with these haul videos is I won't verbally say how much I paid for shipping and such, just to make it easier for myself with editing. So I'm going to, pop them up on the screen, like some screenshots of my order costs and such, and yeah, just to make it a little bit easier on myself for the most part. But it was quite an expensive month overall. It was my birth month, so I did thankfully have, a little bit extra money given to me as a gift. And of course, Christmas comes around, so it's that extra sort of thing too. And yeah, so there's a whole bunch of figures on here to go over that I wrote down on a list to keep track of. So overall for December, I had 4 Nendoroids, 4 scale figures, and 2 sort of extra like Nendoroid more like accessories. So I'll get started with those right now. So the first 2 items I have right here are actually Nendoroid more faceplates cases. So we have the adorable little Orca and Shark. So yeah, I picked these up because, these can be kind of hard to come by in the aftermarket, and I just really thought they were very cute overall, so I decided to pick them up. And I might do some b-roll with me actually unboxing these and displaying some of my Nendoroids in them, because I think they're very cute overall, an extra little sort of accessory for your Nendoroids. So quickly going through these Nendoroid cases, so you can pretty much store up to 2 Nendoroid faceplates in these cases, which I think is pretty nice and convenient. So yeah, here they are. They're, I feel like not much to say about them. They just basically are a little extra Nendoroid accessories, but I think these are super duper cute overall, and it would be kind of nice to have a collection of these in the future, so I'm overall interested to see what designs Goodsmall comes up with. And I actually just put the Marnie faceplate and the Monica Miku faceplate in these for now. And yeah, very cute little extra Nendoroid accessory, and pretty cheap overall to pick up. So the first Nendoroid that I quickly want to talk about is the Your Forger Nendoroid. Now, I don't have this Nendoroid anymore because I did sell her brand new in box to someone who wanted to collect the whole set of the current Spikes family Nendoroids, and thankfully someone did, and now they have a nice proper home to live at. So yeah, overall I was just a little bit underwhelmed with the Spikes family line of Nendoroids, and I just thought, I just don't feel like having these in my collection anymore. There's maybe some other Spikes family figures that I want. So yeah, thankfully I managed to get them sold to someone who would appreciate them a lot more than I did. And moving on to the next Nendoroid have, which was from a series that's, a BL, but, not obviously spicy BL, but it was one I just really enjoyed. I just decided to watch because I like the art style of, and it is this figure right here. So yes, right here I have the Shumei Sasaki Nendoroid from Sasaki and Miyano. So it's a very cute anime. I did watch this dubbed, by the way, which, I don't know, I had a good time watching it dubbed. And, it was mostly because, again, I have stuff to do on the side, and I'd rather not have to read subtitles, so I gave the dub a shot, and I just, I had fun with it overall. So yeah, very nice overall. I really do like... I guess of the two, I really like Sasaki for how, sort of playful he is. But yeah, I was happy to pick these guys up because these are, I believe, the only figures of these two characters out at the moment, so, I wanted to pick them up. And yeah, so I'll actually show the figure of him off right now. So, ignore the fact that he's got a pretty much severed arm right here. I did have him pose with Miyano holding hands, so yeah, he's got kind of this cute little expression right here, his tongue sticking out. I think it's absolutely adorable. And overall, I'd say he's pretty well done. He is made by Orange Rouge, which I do feel like make, probably the best looking Nendoroids overall. He does have some nice shading to the top of his head and such, and I really like what he comes with. And even his piercings, he has piercings, they're very well painted and very, they're not sloppily done, which I really do like, so yeah. It's kind of awkward right now just to have him with just him holding an arm, but yeah. Unfortunately, it is kind of tricky to have him hold hands with Miyano because of the Nendoroid bases, so in this case, if you want to pose him, holding hands, I would recommend getting at least the Nendoroid easel stands for these two, because I think that's definitely going to be a lot easier, and I feel like I don't have any easel stands, unfortunately, so I should probably pick some up to display, my Nendoroids a little bit more naturally. But yeah, I'll definitely show off, of course, more of his accessories in the B-roll section. So we're going to be starting off with Sasaki's Nendoroid, and I have him, of course, holding hands with Miyano. And it is kind of tricky when you have them both on their Nendoroid bases to hold hands, so this one I feel like I definitely recommend getting the Nendoroid easel stands for if you want to pose them both together. And we're moving on to him by himself with some accessories. So first is a sort of pouch that I believe has some cookies in it because his family does run a bake shop, if I remember correctly. So yeah, pretty basic accessories. There's nothing really too exciting. So the other one he has is another food item, which is a peach drink. But I feel like, he's a pretty simple Nendoroid. I feel like Nendoroids from either slice of life anime or romance anime, they can kind of suffer in terms of accessories compared to more actiony anime. So yeah, but I think Orange Rouge did a pretty good job overall with translating him into a Nendoroid. I really like how detailed his eyes are, and also the faceplates I really enjoy. They're very unique and distinct, and I really like that they sculpted a cute little fang into his open mouth smiling faceplate, and I definitely like the him sticking out his tongue. I think that's absolutely adorable. So yeah, again, these are the only Sasaki and Miyano figures out, so I'd recommend picking those up if you're a big fan of the series, and hopefully they have gone down a little bit in price. I wouldn't buy these for full price overall. Now we're moving on to the next Nendoroid that is actually from a video game, and it is this character right here. So right here is the Helltaker Justice Nendoroid. So, Helltaker being a pretty popular game, and she is the second in the Helltaker Nendoroid line, so, I want to pick her up. But the Helltaker Nendoroids are, quite expensive, and I feel like, they really shouldn't be that much, which is, quite unfortunate. So yeah, but I want to pick her up because I think she looked very cool. I like what she came with and her expressions and all that. So yeah, I overall really like how this Nendoroid came out, and from this point forward, I didn't order the Cerberus Nendoroid. Obviously, they had that triple set come out, but it was just obviously very expensive. I thought they would discount it maybe a lot more, and plus the month that she came out was going to be expensive. And recently, Modeus Nendoroid came out, and that is stupidly expensive. at least on the Good Smell website, and it's, you know, it's a pass for me. I am hoping that they go down in the aftermarket and I can pick them up then. So yeah, right now Justice is the last of the Helltaker girls that I will have at the moment until, you know, those other ones release and, you know, I can find them at hopefully a cheaper price. But let us get on to Justice herself. Okay, so here I have her on, you know, with her sunglasses on and the pancake in hand. And, you know, I really like her expressions that she comes with, and you can actually take the sunglasses on and off. I've heard people say that they've accidentally broken the tab on the sunglasses by not being careful, so that's definitely something to be wary about. So yeah, very, like, you know, fragile little piece right there. But I do like her overall look, and, you know, she comes with her jacket and such, which is a nice accessory. And yeah, so I'm excited to kind of show what else she comes with in the B-roll. Now we're moving on to Justice's Nendoroid, and I have to say she's pretty cute and charming overall in Nendoroid form. And I definitely think it's because of the facial expressions. I don't know why, they just, you know, they get a good smile out of me. I think they're very cute, and they definitely fit the character very well. Some poses I have here. This one was a little bit awkward because I couldn't quite get the hand to reach the sunglasses, and you can kind of see the clear pegs. Yeah, so she's supposed to be kind of just tilting her sunglasses down to see her eyes, and it's a little bit off, so there was that one. And I also have this one here where she has the pancake in hand, a very cute eating face, and a little clear plastic piece to show like a sort of emote, I guess. I'm not too sure what that's called. And then one more with her holding the sunglasses. So overall, yeah, I'd say if you're a Justice fan, then, you know, I would recommend picking this up. Unfortunately, I feel like these Helltaker Nendoroids are getting quite expensive, and I really don't think they're worth the price that they put up. So yeah, hopefully that when in the future Cerberus and Modeus are released, that they go down a little bit in the aftermarket, because yeah, they are quite expensive, which is unfortunate. So Justice will be my last Helltaker Nendoroid for quite a while. Also, I did run into this issue where I did have a black scrape, and I'm not too sure if it was from her before I put the jacket on or because of the jacket. So yeah, just be worried about paint transfer from the jacket if you display her with it. Now we're moving on to the last Nendoroid for December, and it is of course a Demon Slayer Nendoroid for my Demon Slayer Nendoroid collection, and it is this one right here. So right here we have, of course, the Tengen Uzui Nendoroid. I was, you know, quite excited to pick him up. It's another, of course, Hashira to add to the, you know, collection, and I do like the details on this one. They do have sort of his like eye marking design all across the box, which I think is a nice touch. So yeah, you know, I was obviously quite excited to pick him up and add him. And bottom. Okay, if I did that right. But yeah, so I think he actually might be one of my favorites of the Demon Slayer Nendoroids, and, you know, also of the Hashira Nendoroids. So, you know, I'll quickly show him off right here. So yeah, here I have him in sort of like a little action-y pose. I did kind of wanted to display him with the swirling parts. It kind of doesn't make sense because he's supposed to be swinging his blades around, and, you know, they're not supposed to be seen, but I really like his weapons, how they came out. He does have a sort of little realistic chain right there, which is a nice touch. And yeah, I'm overall, you know, very impressed with him. He does come with, you know, some other accessories and different pieces that you can do different poses with him. And yeah, so definitely excited to show you guys more of those little accessories in the B-roll, of course. So I apologize if this B-roll is a little bit fuzzy. I don't know what happened at all. I thought the lighting was good, but it wasn't. So I apologize if this B-roll isn't as good of quality as some of the other ones, but yes. We're moving on to Tengen's Nendoroid, which I think is pretty well done overall. I do think he's a pretty good addition to the Demon Slayer Nendoroid collection that I have, and there isn't really, I feel like, anything outstanding accessory-wise about him. I do like how they did give a realistic chain to the katanas, and also he does come with a separate headpiece with more disheveled hair, and that sort of accessory at the front of his bangs, I don't know what it's called, is cracked. So yeah, I do like alternate hair pieces. It does give much more variety. Now the ponytail part that goes into his head I couldn't quite get it in all the way. I think the peg was just too thick for the hole that was in his head, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but you won't really see that from the front, of course. And yeah, so I would recommend picking this up if you're a big Tengen fan or if you're collecting these Demon Slayer Nendoroids. I'm not too sure about the aftermarket price, but for the most part, the Demon Slayer Nendoroids are either sold, you know, aftermarket-wise retail or less, so yeah. Definitely a nice addition to the Demon Slayer Nendoroid collection overall. So now we're moving on to the scale figures, and we're going to be starting off with one that's of a character from probably one of my new sort of favorite artists, and it is this figure right here. So starting off right here, we have the Uchi no Neko ga Onanoko de Kawaii Kinako Sitting Fish version 1/6 figure by Hobby Sakura, who are a pretty new manufacturer, and you know, I kind of, you know, maybe I took a little bit of a risk by getting this figure, but you know, from presentation so far, I think it's very cute. Design on the box, you do have a little illustration of the original artwork of her, along with the figure on the sides. And she does, of course, come with a sort of alternate expression, which is a nice bonus as well. And the top, cute little cat paw window, which I do like. So yeah, overall, you know, nice and small box, which I do appreciate. You don't have to really worry about, like, finding a spot for this, hopefully. And yeah, so also getting to some bonuses that this figure came with. So the first one that came with this figure in the box, which I always love to get when it comes to figures, is of course the original artwork for the figure, which is so cute. And yeah, just, I don't know, very cute extra bonus. Of course, I do like collecting postcards of the original art for the figure, so yeah, very nice bonus. And actually, the second one that this came with, I can't remember exactly if it was like I got like a bonus, you know, thing, or this just came with the figure. Might be hard to see, but it is actually a wall scroll for the character, and it says it's supposed to be like a special edition, so I guess I got a special edition version of the figure. I can't exactly remember, so I may do some b-roll of this. You know, I don't really display any wall scrolls I get, mostly because they're, you know, they can be a little bit of a pain to kind of roll back up and such. I may just find someone who had it on my figure collection and credit them, or I may do, you know, my own b-roll of this, but yeah, so very, you know, nice. It should have the original artwork on this. Again, I haven't opened this up at all. So yeah, I overall do like the addition of wall scrolls as well, even though I can't really display them at the moment, you know. It's something to look forward to in the future when I do have like a bigger space to display these. And so now I'm gonna just jump right into the figure itself. So here she is on the base. It's a little bit overexposed, I apologize. But overall, I feel like Hobby Sakura did a fantastic job with this figure. All of the details, like with the strands of hair, look fantastic. And her expression is so cute. I don't notice anything like off really about the face. Like maybe for some people the eyes might be like extremely big, or just it's a little off to them, but I do like what I see so far from them, and you know, I don't notice any like terrible paint defects and such, and it's just super cute overall. So again, she has two different face plates. I do have her with holding the little sort of fish toy in her mouth, which is interesting because it is kind of attached by string to this, so it's kind of weird when you take the faceplate off and you can just hang it in a way. And she also does come with a little extra sort of cat toy of sorts. But what's also, you know, nice, I do actually have the, before I get into that, I do have the base still on the plastic because I would actually kind of like to display her on like a sort of more softer base of sorts. I've seen people do that, and you know, when I do, I would probably put that one back in the base, but you know, she's overall very nice and palm-sized, which is good, and I don't know, she does feel like, you know, quite big for a 1/6. You know, they probably did that because she is quite a small character, so yeah. Overall, this string. Overall, I am happy with this figure by Hobby Sakura, and so she is currently at 100 USD, and I think AmiAmi is having a sale, so she's going to be a little bit less than that. So if you are a big fan of the artist 40 Hara, I believe that's what they go by, and you really like the character design for Kineko, I would recommend picking this up because I think they did a fantastic job on her overall, and she is definitely super, super cute. So now we're moving on to the next figure, and it's from a series I don't know anything about, but I really liked the character design, and it is a figure of this character right here. So right here we have the Red Pride of Eden Ravi 1/7 figure by Good Smart Art Shanghai. So yeah, the box is nice overall. I do like these sort of iridescent, I guess kanji or something of her name on there, and it does say Lovey on the box. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be her name, her in, you know, how you pronounce it in Japanese. But yeah, it's very cute overall. I do like the character design quite a bit, and the top does have a sort of heart window. But yeah, so I picked this one up because I did like the character design, and it's actually illustrated by D-Smile, so you can kind of see it with her, the way her eyes look and just the overall design, which I really do like. So I think at the time I didn't know it was made by D-Smile, and then I realized it after it was. So yeah, it's kind of nice to pick up like an original piece by D-Smile because I also do like their art style as well. So I'll pick her up right now. So here she is right now. I have her pretty much with all of her pieces together. I hope you guys can see her, but yeah, overall, I really love her design so much. I love the inside of her cave with all of the stars and such in there. It does have a very nice, like, sort of darker to lighter gradient on it. And yeah, and just the back as well, I think it's fantastically done. All the paintwork is crisp and clean. I don't notice really any paint defects on her. And yeah, also like the shading. She's got a little bit of shading on her tail as well, from like white to like a sort of frost blue, which I like. And yeah, she just looks super cute overall. I don't notice any paint defects on her and such. Now this figure can actually be displayed in different ways. You can display her without the cape, without her skirt, with the skirt, without the cape, and so on. So you do have a bunch of different combinations you can display this character with, which I do like that sort of like options you have with this. I guess the one like thing I would be careful with is when I did put the cape on, it does kind of hit her hands a little bit, so you might get a little bit of paint transfer onto her hands from, you know, just the way the cape sort of just leans up against them a bit. And yeah, so there is going to be paint transfer if you do want to exchange parts at different times, so I would be warned about that. I also just realized that she does have sort of these translucent puffy sleeves, which I think is cute. So yeah, overall, a very nice figure, you know, reasonably sized too. And just gorgeously detailed again by Good Smart Art Shanghai. They are doing a fantastic job overall with their figures, and for the most part right now they do have their figures reasonably priced. And I'm looking at her on AmiAmi right now, and she does have a sale for her right now for 13,160 yen, which is $99.12 USD, which I think is fantastic for the overall quality you're getting for a 1/7. I think that's absolutely amazing. So if you know this source material that she's from, or you like anything by Good Smart Art Shanghai, or you like the artist D-Smile, I would definitely recommend picking this figure up because, again, Good Smart Art Shanghai did another fantastic job on another figure. Now we're moving on to the second to last figure, and it is one from a pretty popular anime series that had a movie come out quite a ways back, and it is this figure right here. So right here we have the Jujutsu Kaisen 0 Yuta Okotsu 1/7 complete figure by, of course, eStream. So yeah, overall box, it's definitely not as big as I thought it was, and it's a little bit boring, to be honest. There's no picture of the figures. It just has the title and, you know, it's Mappa X Shibuya Scramble, and that's about it. So in terms of design, it's not the best in the world. It is, you know, cardboard. It's a little bit more sturdy of a box, and thankfully it's not too big overall, but design-wise, with pictures and such on the box, it's, you know, a little bit disappointing, but, you know, So there's that. So I'll pick up the figure right now. So right here we have the Yuta figure along with Rika, of course, on, you know, this very sort of liquidy base. So Yuta, he already comes on the base, which is a good thing. The only really point of attachment you have is the katana that he has. It slides in very easily to his hand, and he doesn't really have like a tight grip on it in a way, which I think is a good thing to prevent a lot of pain transfer. And overall, I'd say the sculpt is pretty well done, especially like on himself, like his body. You can see in like the hand that's holding the katana, I think looks fantastic. And you have all the individual wrinkles on his clothing and even on Rika as well. And, you know, their faces are very well done overall. So, obviously this figure is pretty much a reference to the cover of Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the manga, which I think is obviously a nice reference. And yeah, overall I think it's pretty well done. Do I think it's, you know, currently it's like 246 USD on AmiAmi. Do I think it's worth that price? I'd say probably not. I feel like it could have been, you know, quite a bit less than that, but this is of course eStream we're talking about. They're more of a premium figure manufacturer. But yeah, I think, you know, both of the characters are very well done overall. I do like the reference and such, and, you know, thankfully assembly isn't really painful at all. Also, I'd say this Yuta figure is pretty small, actually. He was kind of a little bit smaller than I thought he was. Like, I literally have like a sitting 1/4 binding bunny, and he's pretty much like her height, maybe a little bit shorter, so yeah. Thankfully, I'd say overall he doesn't take up too much room, which is a good thing if you're running out of space, so I'd recommend picking this up if you're, of course, a, you know, a very big Yuta fan. If not, then I wouldn't recommend shelling out that amount of money for him, but yeah, you know, I'm happy to overall have him as sort of my Yuta representation, though, in my collection. So now we're moving on to the last figure for December, and it's actually one I don't have the box up here at the moment, but I did do a single figure review of this figure, so I'll link that so you guys can check it out, because, you know, I'll probably go a little bit quick through this section, and, you know, I go a little bit more in depth in that video. So I'll pick up the figure itself right now. So right here we have the Gem EX series Pokemon Dialga and Palkia complete figure by Mega House. Now, it's definitely a big boy figure, and overall I'm very impressed with it. It is quite expensive though, but I feel like, you know, I can see why, just because of how like dynamic this is, and it's also quite a heavy figure overall. But I'm very impressed with this figure overall, because this is actually my first Mega House figure. I do like the sort of dynamic poses that these two have, and just obviously the little references, like they're using their signature moves. They're pretty much like in Spear Pillar. I just really like this figure overall for how like massive and dynamic it is. And, you know, I recommend picking this up hopefully at retail price if you like Generation 4 or these two legendaries. And, you know, if you want to save some money, I definitely recommend doing Surface, because definitely expensive via EMS, so yeah. But if you're definitely a big Pokemon fan, you know, I definitely recommend picking them up, because they are, you know, quite a nice, like, large centerpiece figure overall.